What's up? What's up? Back on the road.
Back on the road indeed. Welcome into Camp Dolphins. I'm your host, Mike Cunio, coming to you from our beautiful South Florida studios. But while we're here in Miami, the Dolphins are in the second city. They took off to Chicago earlier today. Wide receiver Tyreek Hill rocking a Tua Tagovailoa jersey as he boarded that plane. That was actually the first time we saw Tyreek today. That's because he missed practice this morning with an undisclosed injury. Certainly a positive sign, though, that he is traveling. We'll keep you posted. Now, Tua has made some non-football headlines recently. Get this, President Donald Trump appointed him to the President's Council of Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. When making the announcement, President Trump slipped up trying to pronounce Tua's last name. It happened to all of us. But the Finns QB took that in stride and said, without knowing a whole lot about it, it was an honor to be on the council.
I think it's pretty cool. It's an honor. I would say I don't know too much about it. But again, I think that's an honor. I don't think he's had the worst. I've heard a couple worse in Alabama. But it is what it is. I mean, I don't take that to heart. It is what it is. But he's a great guy, phenomenal guy. Just got to stay healthy. All of that. Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Tua doing impersonations now. I dig it. All right, here's what's next for the Dolphins. Tomorrow and Friday, they're going to practice in Chicago. Friday being the only joint practice with the Bears before Sunday's preseason opener. Then it's off to Tango with the Lions. That is a short plane ride out to Detroit. All right, the first depth chart of training camp has been released, so let's go through it, starting with the cornerbacks. A lot of questions here coming into camp, but finally some answers. At the top, for the moment, two guys, Storm Duck and Kendall Sheffield. This coincides with what we've been seeing throughout the last 2 weeks in Miami Gardens. Now, some other notables. Zach Wilson is ahead of Quinn Ewers for that backup quarterback job. Darren Waller, who has yet to practice, comes in as the top tight end. At left guard, you got second-round pick Jonas Savaiinaia, who's earned the top billing in that first depth chart. First-round pick Kenneth Grant sits behind Zach Sealer at defensive tackle. And we have a battle for punter, where everyone's eyes will be this week. That is between Jake Bailey and Ryan Stonehouse. All right, the safety position has gotten a little boost recently. Fatu Fonu has returned to practice after missing the early part of camp because of an injury. That entire safety room looks totally different than last year. Today, Fonu talked about joining forces with the new safety, but an all-pro like Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. I think they, complement each other well, and I'm just, learning off him, and he's learning off me, and we're just, bouncing off ideas and everything.
Well, we've got not one, but two plays of the day, both coming from wideouts. Taj Washington refusing to let that ball touch grass, climbing the ladder, overcoming some good coverage from Storm Duck. Meanwhile, D. Eskridge really made the crowd roar, pulling down this fingertip catch, juggling the ball back to himself while falling down. Big plays there from some wide receivers. And to keep the big day for the wide receivers rolling, Malik Washington earned the orange jersey. He shared it with Madison, who is today's fan of the day. She's a big Dolphin fan and a big fan of the cheer team as well. All right, that's going to do it for another edition of Camp Dolphins. Thanks for tuning in. Next time we'll see you, we'll be up in Chicago. We'll see you then. Have a great night, everyone.